Hey, what is up, guys? This is Everything Jailbroken, and today I'm super excited to kick off this YouTube channel. And in this first video, as you can tell from the title, I will be sharing with you all exactly what I'm using on my jailbroken device as of right now. And this is on the latest Pangu iOS 9.3.3 jailbreak. This is the Iron Man edition. So let's get right into it. First, I'm going to start off on my lock screen and show you everything I got going on there, and then we'll get into the home screen and what theme I'm using and all of that. So the first thing you probably notice on the lock screen is this circle right here. This is thanks to a tweak called JellyLock Unified. Very nice tweak. And what it allows you to do is set app shortcuts on your lock screen. So your favorite apps you use the most. Like I got Cydia here, Messages, Clash of Clans, of course, and YouTube and Cydia. And so if I want to jump right into Clash of Clans, all I got to do is let go of it there, put in my Touch ID or passcode, and it takes you right into the app just like that. Very nice tweak. I didn't think I'd use it that much. I just got it because I thought it would look cool. But I use it every day to get into Clash of Clans just like I did right there. And it's very useful. So if we go into the settings for this tweak, go into the appearance. There's a few different things you can change, not much. Like the ring color, the grabber size. And you can choose to enable or disable to blur the background. When you open up the tweak, I have it disabled because I don't think it looks very good. But that's up to you guys. Go into app shortcuts, and this is how you choose what apps you want on the tweak. So slot 1, this is where I have Cydia, and slot 2 is where I had Messages, and it goes clockwise around the tweak like that for 3, 4, and 5. Now you don't have to set all 5 if you just want 3 on there, or 4 maybe, but I have noticed that it looks best if you have 5 because it just looks centered. And then that is pretty much it for that tweak. Let's get back into the lock screen, and I'll show you 3 more tweaks I have. So if I swipe right here on the lock screen itself, you'll notice that it does not blur out the background. And this is thanks to a tweak called Calypso. And I just think this looks a whole lot better, a lot more clean, and you can see that sweet Iron Man background still. And if we go back over here, you'll notice that the time and the date are a whole lot smaller. And I changed that font with a tweak called Springtomize 3. And the last thing I did on my lock screen was hid the status bar. And I did that with a tweak called HideMeX, because there's no point in having a status bar on your lock screen, in my opinion. But if we go into HideMeX settings, all you do is go to status bar, and you'll enable hide on lock screen, and then that looks really good like that. And then if you go into lock screen, there's a few different things you can do. And what I did was hid the camera, but kept it functional, which is nice because you can't see it, but you can still use it. That's all I did on HideMeX for the lock screen, at least. But there's a whole bunch of different things you can do on that tweak. Then with Calypso, all you do is go into settings, springboard, go to lock screen, and that is where you enable no lock screen blur to get that effect when swiping into your lock screen. And this Calypso is a lot like Springtomize 3, which I'm sure most of you know about. But I did find a few features in Calypso that Springtomize didn't have, and that's why I decided to show you guys Calypso. So check that one out for sure. And then if we go down to Springtomize 3, all you got to do is go to lock screen, and this is where you can disable the control center grabber, notification center grabber like I did. But if you scroll down, this is where you find the time font size, and I changed it to 39, and then the date font size to 21 if you want to copy that. So that's enough of the lock screen. Let's get into the home screen. So what theme I'm using? It's a theme called Muze 3, and it's a great theme. Love this theme. I love the colors that they got going on, and I just think it looks really, really good. I love that they didn't change it up too much. A lot of those themes, they change things up so much that you can't even tell what's going on, or you can't find certain apps that you want to find because they just look so different. But this theme, they kept it simple and just made it look really good. So Muze 3, check this one out for sure, guys. So the first tweak I want to show you on my home screen is a tweak called Cylinder. This is a free tweak, and it is what is giving me this awesome animation when swiping through on my pages. So if we go into the settings for Cylinder, you just go to effects, and there are so many different effects that you can choose from. The effect that I'm using is an effect called hyperspace, which in my opinion is the best looking animation on here. But a cool thing about this tweak is that you can choose between different ones, and it'll give you a crazy effect. But if you choose too many, it will make a weird animation and kind of get laggy, so be careful with that. But this is a free tweak, better than Barrel, which is just like it, but I think this one's better and it's free. Barrel costs money, so I encourage you to get this one. Alright, then the next tweak, you might have noticed when I was swiping through my animation or my pages that I'm able to just keep swiping left. It doesn't stop me from swiping. And so I can go from my first page, like I'm on now, to my very last page, even though I only have 3. But this is thanks to a tweak called Mobius. Now with Mobius, you do need to disable the spotlight search, and I did that with HideMeX. All you do is go into the HideMeX settings and go to home screen, and then there you can see spotlight, and I disabled completely, disabled on the side, and I disabled from top. You don't have to disable the top spotlight search, but I don't ever use it, so I did that as well. But I think Mobius is a great tweak. I just got it because I thought it'd look cool, but it's actually pretty useful if you're on your first page and you know there's an app you got to get to on your last page. You can just swipe over once and get to it. It'd be even better if you had a lot of pages. So the next tweak that I want to show you guys is one called Zeppelin. This is a very popular tweak. A lot of you guys that have been jailbroken before probably know about this one. Been around a long time. But if you go into the settings for Zeppelin, you'll notice that you can choose different logos to replace your carrier name. So if you look in the top left of my status bar, you'll notice that I obviously chose the Iron Man head because this is the Iron Man edition, but there are so many different cool ones that you can choose from, and this is a really nice tweak to have. But that's about it. That's all that can do. And the next tweak I want to show you guys is a really cool one, and it goes right in with that Iron Man theme, and it is CCBackground. And I found the absolute perfect picture to go in my CCBackground. Look at that. How beautiful is that? I absolutely love this picture. It's perfect. I knew I had to get a white picture because the the settings and all the buttons are darker color. So obviously if you choose like a dark picture to put back there, then you won't be able to see the buttons. But with this picture, it just looks perfect. It looks like this picture was made to be in my CC. But that's pretty much all you can do with this tweak. I'll take you into the settings just so you can see how it works. CCBackground. All you got to do is enable it and select an image, and you can choose from any image in your camera roll. So that's pretty sweet. If you want the image that I use, all you got to do is Google White Iron Man and you'll find that picture. The next tweak I want to show you is a really cool one of my favorites probably, and that is Harbor. And that is what is giving me this awesome dock down here. It's like a Mac OS type dock. When you scroll your finger through it, the icons pop up, and then obviously you just let go on the app that you want to choose, and it takes you into that. There are some settings for Harbor that you can change, like the wave height, the wave length, and icon padding. I did find that it does look best if you keep it at the default settings, but you can kind of mess with them a little bit and see what you like best. Then the other thing that this does is you can set animation for your dock. So if I get a notification, that app will bounce twice on the dock, and it looks really cool. And you can set it for every 30 seconds, every minute, however you guys want. There's a few different settings for Harbor, but that's it for the most part. And then the next tweak I want to show you is called IWidgets. IWidgets is a very popular tweak. It's been around a long time, and what this allows you to do is set widgets on your home screen, so you can download different like clocks, or like I have up here, this Google search bar is from IWidgets. So download IWidgets, and once you do, you can long hold on the home screen itself, and this pops up right here, and it just shows you all the iWidgets that you have installed. So once you have iWidgets installed, go to Cydia and search for search widget, and that is how you get this search bar. Once you have search widget installed, just scroll down until you find search widget, and then you choose the one for your device, which I have the iPhone 6 Plus right here, and you can rename it. So let's name it Google It, and change the button to maybe a Chrome button since I'm using Apple already, and let's change it to glass clear since I'm using white, and let's just enable the shadow, and let's add this and see what it looks like. If I can get it. Good grief. Just click on everything. Okay, so there it is. That's how you do it. That's how you get the Google search bar. That looks really good. I don't know if I want to use this one or my white one. I think white looks best just because I have a dark. Everything else is pretty dark, but that one looks good as well. So that's pretty much all you can do with, well, that's definitely not all you can do with IWidgets, but there's so much more. So get IWidgets and get the search bar and maybe a clock. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But the next tweak I want to show you is the last tweak that I have for you guys, and it is called Iconizer, or Iconizer, whatever you want to call it. And this is a super cool tweak, and this is what is giving me that light blue border and the light blue glow on all the different apps, and it looks really, really good in my opinion. I chose light blue just because it kind of looks like the heart and the eyes of Iron Man, and it kind of goes with that theme a little bit. But if you go into the settings for Iconizer, there are so many different things you can do with this tweak. I can't get into everything, but you can change different things with the icon, the whole icon itself. You can add a shadow to it. I'll just show you what it looks like really quick. Purple, and it just adds a shadow underneath it, but I'm not using a shadow right now. And then if you go into icon image, this is where I chose the border, and you just go into border color and scroll down until you find ice right there. And you can change the border size if you want to not be able to see the app. But I have mine set to about 1 if you want to copy that. But then you go into glow, and you can add a glow, and I just added the same exact color, ice, and you can change the intensity of the glow, and I have mine set to about 68. There are a lot more. There's a bunch more you can do with this tweak. You can set an animation. This is pretty crazy though. Bounce and rotate, and that is what your apps will be doing on your home screen. I'll show you what it looks like. And I don't have an animation set just because I think this will probably drain your battery pretty quick, and it's just too much in my opinion. But if you want to trip out a friend, that'd definitely be a good way to do that. There's a bunch of different animations. Maybe there's a more simple one that doesn't stick out so much. That would look good. But you can change the animation duration time. And the last thing I want to show you is the masks. This one is really cool. You can add, say I want to change all my apps to circles. If I just choose circle here, it shows you a little display of what it'll look like. And you can change the background as well by tapping on the black part and tap the icon to change the settings just to look at it. But I'll show you what it looks like on my screen. It looks really good. I haven't decided if I want to keep it circles or squares yet. I think circles look really good, but because you can still see all of the apps, unlike most of the masks, like Batman. I mean, Batman's really cool, but my apps are too small, and you can't really see what app it is. But masks, they're really cool. I'm going to keep mine on none for now. But this Iconizer tweak is so extensive, and there's a lot that you guys can do with it, so I encourage you to get this one and check this one out. And now lastly, I just want to show you guys everything that I did in Springtomize 3 because I have a lot of changes, and just in case you want to copy my format exactly, let's look at Springtomize 3. I did add an animation to when I lock my device. As you might have noticed, it is an old TV type of lock, and you can change the duration of the lock. So I'll just lock my device to let you guys see it real quick. So that's a really cool animation. Changes things up a little bit, but you can change the animation, so if I bring it all the way up, it will be a whole lot slower. If you want to take forever to lock your device, then you can change that. But I'm going to keep it at about 1 or 0.5 actually. But then if we go into app slider, I also so if you enable the app switcher, then swiping up on your home screen like that usually doesn't do anything, but you can set it on Springtomize 3 to respring your device, which is really handy if you're constantly changing like themes and doing customizing to your device. Then you need a fast way to respring your device, and so that's really useful to have. I use it all the time. And now in the dock, I don't think I did anything on the dock. No. Folders, I did transparent background and unblurred icon for the the folders. And then icons, this is where I changed some things up. I did change the size of the icons, but you do have to go into pages, I think, to change the, yeah. So you enable resize. If you want to shrink your apps a little bit and make the icon smaller, I set mine to 80%, which I found to be a really good size on the iPhone 6 Plus. And then I also added a column and a row. So if you just click on columns and make it 5, it's usually 4. And then 7 rows instead of 6. I just did this because when you shrink your apps, it makes a big gap in between all the apps and it kind of looks dumb. So if you add a column and a row, it kind of equalizes that out and makes it look a lot better. But then if we go back into icons, I changed the custom font and changed it to, oh, what did I have? Let's see. Here we go. Veneer Next Condensed Bold, or whatever it's called. That is the font that I'm using under my icons. I'll show you what it looks like. I think it looks good. Then a few other settings. You guys can pause the video and just kind of see what all I got going on in my settings. I just wanted to show you guys that in case you wanted to copy exactly what I did on my device. But that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, make sure to leave a like and to subscribe to stay updated for more jailbreaker related videos. This is Everything Jailbroken signing out. Peace.